We saw a Battleground state poll tsunami today that tells a fairly consistent story. Donald Trump gaining ground on Hillary Clinton in those Battleground states. New NBC, Wall Street Journal, Marist surveys show Trump tied with Clinton in Ohio, where he trailed her by 6 points a couple of months ago. Clinton is still ahead in states like Colorado, where a Monmouth poll has her up by 13, and Wisconsin, where a Marquette poll has her up by 6. But Trump has closed the gap in other states, including the key Battleground state of Florida, where a Quinnipiac University poll has him ahead 42 to 39%. That is an 11-point swing in Trump's direction from less than a month ago. Yesterday, we told you about a Bloomberg Politics Slice poll that showed Clinton with a big lead among college-educated voters. It's something that doesn't usually happen for Democrats. So, Mark, just looking at all these polls, ours from yesterday and the ones that have come out today, what are the realities and implications that you see of these numbers?
Well, look, people are going to have to get used to there being a difference between the national polls and the state polls for a variety of reasons. I think that the political reality of the existence of these polls is it's great for Trump on the eve of the convention. It allows him to feel like he's got momentum and argue to the delegates where there might be some wavering. This is a guy who can win 270 electoral votes, so get in line. And I think for the Clinton folks, they're not happy about it on one level. On another level, they continue to believe that their biggest challenge is getting Democrats, donors, activists, volunteers to believe this is a losable race and to be energized in the way they're going to need them to be in order to make it a winnable race.
Yeah, look, the other reality here seems to be, in the case of many of these polls, possibly all, they were conducted in the wake of the Comey ruling last week that they was not going to recommend any kind of charges against her over the email controversy, and then took her to the woodshed even as he let her off the hook. And it seems as though, for some number of voters, Comey's criticisms of Clinton have sunk in, because you can see that in all of these states, or virtually all of them, Trump has gained some ground. That's the big takeaway here in these Battleground states, and that it seems to have, we can't tell causation, but at least in terms of timing, it seems as though the Comey decision, although sparing her from the existential threat of prosecution, may have taken some, at least temporary, toll on her poll standing.
Yeah. And it does show, again, the causality. There's just no way to unpack it. But if it is true that these polls represent an accurate notion that Trump's doing better, and if it's the case that the Comey thing was a factor, which probably was, then you have to say the press maybe overemphasized Trump's failure in his speeches to take advantage of the Comey thing. The Comey thing may have happened all on its own, and Trump's instincts were correct. He didn't need to talk as much about it as his critics said he did in order for it to have an impact on the voters.
Well, of course, on the other hand, you could argue that if he had made a consistent talking point out of it and had driven the message, he would have gotten even more of a bounce out of these polls. So hard to know.
You could argue that. You could argue that.